Is there a risk that in reviewing the teachings of RSC and gender issues in particular, that we're repeating the failings of Section 28? Because my campaign in life started, I'm going to give my age away, around the 80s, pushing back on Section 28 and the damage that it done. And to me, it feels like we're just going backwards a little bit.
Hello, peapods, right? What you've just seen, prior to me coming on here and doing my usual Hello Peapods bit, is an MP called Kate Osborne MP, who was talking in a select committee investigation into PSHE or RSHE, whatever the hell you want to call it, where they teach kids about crap, right? What she said is utterly disgusting. What she said is utterly extraordinary. And I am hoping that Clive and Dennis and the others will take on board what she said and be particularly clear about what actually it is. I feel like we're going backwards. This is Section 28. I've talked about Section 28 before, and she's talking about the damage it's done. Section 28 was never used. Section 28 was designed to keep out an extreme element. Section 28 was enforced at a time where if we weren't careful, they'd have stuck us back in the closet. Right? Section 28 was a move to prevent the extremism of the left, the same crap we're seeing today, going into schools. So the parallel in that respect is important. It is not related in any way to Section 28 to ask for safeguarding and basic principles that RSHE and PSHE providers do not go into school practicing critical race theory, practicing queer theory, and practicing gender identity ideology. This woman, right, whose name is Kate Osborne MP, is positing that the crazy crackers belief system of gender identity ideology and the boundary breaking beliefs of the queer theory crowd and the social constructionists is akin to the treatment that gay men and lesbians got in the 1980s off the back of a particularly difficult political time in our struggles. It is nothing to do with that. Nothing. You disingenuous, wibbling falsity goat. Nothing, Kate Osborne MP. And it's a disgrace that you should compare gender identity ideology and queer theory to the struggle for gay and lesbian rights. You know it as well as I do that the reason that Section 28 existed was because the nutter left didn't know when to stop. You know as well as I do the reason Section 28 existed is because PI, the Paedophile Information Exchange, had infiltrated just about every movement. Exactly the same as we're seeing now. You shouldn't be sitting there saying you think we're going backwards. If you think that going backwards would be to stop this QTG bloody gender identity nonsense going into schools, then you are the problem. You are the problem, madam. That was a disgraceful statement to make, and you should apologise and withdraw it. How dare you compare a cracker's cult belief system to the reality of the lives of gays and lesbians? How dare you? Gender identity ideology and queer theory and the PSHE that's being taught in schools is a direct threat to lesbian and gay children. It is conversion therapy. And you sit there and smugly say that Section 28 was the same as this attempt to safeguard children from queer theorists and gender identity ideologues who wish to pervert their normal development in seeking their utopian, inclusive environment with their communist ideology. You're a disgrace, woman. You should apologise and withdraw it. This is nothing to do with what gay people went through. It has got nothing to do with Section 28 because Section 28 was a stopper on the extremism of the left and the right at the time. It was designed to prevent us from going back in the closet. It was designed to prevent them from putting us back, from undoing our rights. Section 28 was like Paul's. Not everybody's with you. You've got to take everybody with you. Don't for 1 second you compare that to this, which is an appalling thing for you to do, and I'm absolutely spitting blood about it. And I hope that everybody else will be. How dare you? How dare you conflate the difficulty and the political and cultural situation in the 1980s with now, when the rights of gays and lesbians, and for that matter women, which you seem to have forgotten about, are under attack from gender identity ideologues and queer theorists whose only reason for existence in this particular project is to break down the boundaries between adult and child as specified by Judith Butler when she spoke to Owen Jones last year. You do not know what you are talking about, and you do not have the right to bring our history into this to shore up your vapid, mad arguments that it's a good idea to tell children that they were born in a body that is wrong for them, that they actually have a gendered soul, that they can stop puberty, and when the time's right, we'll whip off your cock and your fanny and take your tits out as well. Apologise, you vile, piggybacking, force-teaming git. And now, in calmer times, I'm so angry. That's what you've just seen. Force-teaming. Enough. Apologise, woman. Apologise to the gay men and women of this country. You absolute disgrace.